nasty sell-off continues on Wall Street. Dow Jones Industrials down 295 points as we look live at the big board right now. Now, to help us understand the turmoil today, we want to go to Chris Markowski in Tampa, Florida. He's from Watchdog on Wallstreet.com. Chris, what's happening to all of our money today? This global sell-off, which happened overnight, fears of a global recession. Is this reasonable selling or is this freak-out selling at this point?
Oh, well, some of it is actually forced selling. You know those television shows that they have like on Spike and some of the HD stations where they talk about all these really cool hedge fund managers with their rented Ferraris and whatnot? Well, all those guys have to sell right now. The same guys that drove our oil prices up to $150 a barrel, well, they have to sell right now. And you know what? I want to address this to all individual investors out there. Don't fall victim to these guys who are being forced out of their entire hedge funds. Stay the course if you've got your financial plan done and keep it cool, because a lot of this stuff is forced and it shouldn't affect you if you're smart.
Well, Chris, what are you looking for today? What should we all be looking for today? We're coming up to the last hour of trading, and that last hour has been so important recently, and today it's a Friday before the weekend. What do you expect to see happen? What should we look for signs of the future? Yeah,
it's funny. The last hour of trading, it's watching the trading day is almost watching like a professional basketball game. All you got to do is tune into like the last few minutes to find out exactly what happens. I mean, before I got on with you, I actually looked to see where the stock market was, and it was 70 points lower than what you told me. So basically, they're violent swings. And if you think anybody out there on the planet knows what's going to happen over the course of a day with these types of swings, you're crazy. I mean, I woke up this morning, I looked at the screen at around 2 o'clock this morning. I was like, my God, what's going on around the world? We were up yesterday. It's a capitulation type of a thing, forced selling out there, and this is why it's so important for individual investors out there not to fall victim to it.
Well, Chris, what about the election? The fact that we're just 11 days away from the presidential election. After that happens, will it inject any calm into the markets? Is it playing into what we're looking at right now?
Well, I definitely think it plays a part, because what markets don't like is what we have right now is a lot of uncertainty in the air. And these various different politicians, whether it be John McCain, whether it be Barack Obama, have floated various different ideas into regards to taxation, capital gains. And one of the big ones that was floated over the past couple days was congressional Democrats were actually looking into getting rid of the tax deductibility of the 401k, almost like seizing 401ks like they just did in Argentina a couple days ago. I think that spooks the markets as well.
And Chris, I get what you're saying, that for individual investors, you should just leave your money there if you can, that of course if you sell now, you're going to lock in your losses. But what if you're an average American with a 401k? I mean, should you cut your contributions? Should you not put more money into it?
No. This is the time where you're going to make the most amount of money when things are cheap. Do I know where the bottom is? Absolutely not. Anybody who tells you they know where the bottom is lying to you. But when you can pick up companies that are yielding 6, 7, 8%, high quality companies. I looked this morning, even Microsoft, their dividend yield is close to 3%. That's a good buy because you're getting paid to hold on to these things. Don't fall victim. The big brokerage firms and these hedge funds have been ripping you off for a long period of time. Why buy into what they want you to do and sell them your stock?
But Chris, when you hear things like global recession, that's intimidating.
Oh, absolutely. But like I said, this is not the end of the world. It's no different than the last time we were told it's the end of the world. And recessions do happen. It's a part of our cycle, and every single recession has always been a great buying opportunity. Unless you're building a bunker in your backyard and you're stocking it with tuna fish and stuff like that. We're going to get through this.
I can't survive on tuna fish, so I hope that's not the case. I've learned a lot. Chris Markowski, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
All right, the Dow sank 500 points at the open, but thankfully things settled down. The index down 312 points at the close. Come on, watching stocks has become this white-knuckle ride. I want to know why. Well, let's get to the bottom of these bizarre fluctuations. Joining us now, radio talk show host Chris Markowski, the show name Watchdog on Wall Street. You can get more info at watchdogonwallstreet.com. Chris, some economists calling this chaotic, bizarre. You agree with those assessments? What's going on here?
Yeah, I was like...
You're laughing.
I got up this morning. I was like calling Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck. We got Armageddon 2 on our hands. What's going on? I'm like, nothing. Nothing. There was really no news. It was basically fears of a global recession. What we're seeing, Mike, is we're seeing hedge funds, all these master of the universe guys that go out and rent their Ferraris and, their fancy suits and whatnot, having to sell. They were wrong. Why do you think oil prices are down at 60? They have to unload their positions. They're forced to sell, Individual investors, 401ks, they're not forced to sell, and hopefully they're not going to.
Okay, so I'm with you. I woke up this morning, flipped on the tube, all news channels on lockdown mode, waiting for things, and it ends up down 312. What is, for somebody who worked all day, is coming home now watching the show, what do they need to know about what happened today?
Well, you woke up this morning, the market, when it first initially opened up, it was down around 500 points. And then if you're watching any of the business programs out there, and they had the Masters of the Universe come on saying, uh-oh, it's not bad enough out there. We didn't get the capitulation sell. It didn't go low enough for us. Basically saying that individual investors didn't act not in their best interest and sell everything out of their positions, and they're not happy. If you're an individual investor, you're watching this thing happen every single day, watching these fluctuations. This is not normal. There's a lot of unwinding going on right now, and it can be to your benefit because you, for the first time, can start beating these guys to the punch and picking up stuff on the cheap. Don't let these guys continue to drink your milkshake. Pick up this stuff on the cheap, and you'll be fine.
Okay, so you're not saying, because some people would say, hey, stop watching this stuff. You're just going to drive yourself crazy. You say dig in and pick up a bargain.
Oh, I take advantage of this. Take advantage. It's all the smart investors are. It's interesting to watch. You watch all these guys that actually manage money for average Americans out there, the Mohammed El Arians, the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Grosses of the world. They're all saying the same thing. They're all smiling because they're picking stuff up on the cheap. Everybody else is as well. We should be shorting this. It could go much lower. Once again, call in Bruce Willis. It's Armageddon all over again. They want you to make mistakes. They want you to sell out of your 401k so they can pick it up at a lower price and make up for all the losses they've had.
We panic, they profit.
Exactly.
That's what happens here.
It's like Mr. Potter from, Mr. Potter's Buying. It's a Wonderful Life, right?
I was thinking of that same thing. Potter's buying because we're panicking and he's not. George Bailey, by the way, It's a Wonderful Life. You'll be watching it 100 times. We're just jumping the gun on the holiday season anyway. Let's get into something people can sink their teeth into. We talk about home prices. Existing home sales up, home values down. No surprise there. Simple economics. Is that how bad is that for us when we see that?
Well, I think it's a good thing. Simply where I live, houses got so far out of control. I had one of the hottest real estate markets in the country down in Southwest Florida. You know what? Houses are going to come down to a level where people are going to actually afford them and not spending all their disposable income paying off interest and paying the bank. Who's going to benefit from that? Restaurants, stores, other things out there. There's a flip side to everything. It makes homes more affordable. First and foremost, there's this weird reality out here that homes are this wonderful investment. They're not. If you take your home as a bill, like you'd pay the electric bill every single month and buy something that you can afford, you'd be fine. You're going to enjoy your life to a much greater degree.
Okay, I want to ask you about this. Getting word, there's a couple of representatives talking about changing our 401k plans. What is this all about? Explain this one.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to sub-reference another movie. We're going to have to call in Patrick Swayze and Red Dawn 2. Well, watch out for your 401ks here. We got some congressional committees and some hearings going on right now where they want to take people's 401ks. They want to eliminate the tax deduction involved with 401ks. They want to hand it over to the Social Security Administration, who acts like Dumb and Dumber, and they've got nothing more than an IOU box, and have them manage it. And your only investment choice will be what? U.S. Treasuries, not to mention the fact that when you die, half that money goes to the U.S. government and you can give the other half to their heirs. Once again, Red Dawn 2.
There's no way that's happening. Come on.
Mike, I'm not kidding you. This is what's going on. It's what's being proposed right now.
All right, if you want to get a quick call in, we're taking your calls on this, 1-877-TEL-HLN. When you look at this, okay, some other things we might see, chance of an interest rate cut, and how does that help? Explain that to us.
Yeah, I think rates are low enough as it is. Isn't it interesting? I mean, nothing, like I said, cats are sleeping with dogs right now. The Fed keeps lowering rates, and, we're taking a look at the dollar continue to strengthen against other currencies. It looks like people are betting that the United States is pretty much a safe place to be. Other world markets down 8-9% today. We were down a little bit. Interesting to watch. I don't know if it's going to help much. You're going to flood the country with more money. I mean, there's plenty of it out there.
All right, takeaway. You're not panicking, not as bad as we thought. That's the takeaway.
Not panicking at all. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, stuff on sale. Mike, do you know that the S&P 500 is yielding almost as much as Treasuries are right now? It's crazy.
All right, Chris Markowski, a calming word amidst your Armageddon chatter. Chris, thanks again. Have a great weekend.
Mike. Always a pleasure.
Good talking to you.